This is Central Park, 840 acres of prime real estate in the heart of New York City. It is quite probably the world's largest playground, an arena without walls, a stadium without seats, a place where everyone can be a kid and every kid can be a hero. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm John Tesh. And for most of us, a day in the park brings back those childhood memories, ninth-inning home runs, last-second touchdowns, and jump shots at the buzzer. Of course, for almost all of us, those dreams remain just that, dreams. But each year, for a few special athletes, those fantasies become reality. And for the next 90 minutes, we'll meet some of those special athletes who, in retrospect, raise the rhetorical question, who could have imagined? In college basketball, everyone had high expectations for teams from the Big East, but no one could have imagined who would topple mighty Georgetown. In college football, who would have believed that going into the bowl games, Penn State would be unbeaten and ranked #1? Who could have foreseen that an unranked 17-year-old German would conquer Wimbledon, while his fellow countrymen would master the Augusta National? And if all that is hard to imagine, how do you think Larry Holmes must have felt waking up to find that the heavyweight champion of the world is named Michael Spinks? In pro football, the Chicago Bears started unexpectedly strong, and who could have predicted that a 300-pound defensive lineman would become a demon ball carrier and a national hero? Also, John Madden will show us some of the most entertaining plays of the year, and Brent Musburger will tell us about an unimaginable Kansas City comeback that made the Royals the kings of baseball. We'll be back with that story and more when we continue.
This special edition of CBS Sports Saturday is sponsored by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud...
Well, with the cold winter weather closing in, sports fans can always warm themselves in the memory of those boys of summer. There was Saberhagen and Gooden on the mound, Mattingly at bat and McGee on the bases, and those are just a few of the names who are going to be the stars of the next decade. And while they were stepping forward to be heard from, well, some of the greatest names in the history of baseball said, let's have one more moment in the spotlight.
He levels the bat a couple of times. Shao kicks and he fires. Rose swings.
There it is! There it is! Get out! Get out! All right! Hit number 4192.
Baseball fans everywhere cheered when Pete Rose lined base hit number 4192 to pass Ty Cobb as the all-time Major League leader. Back in 1967, Rod Carew and Tom Seaver each won Rookie of the Year honors. 19 seasons later, their baseball careers would cross again. Seaver, the former Met prodigy, returned to New York City as a member of the Chicago White Sox. Looking for pitching victory number 300, Tom Terrific did not disappoint the New York fans at Yankee Stadium. Seaver became only the 15th major leaguer ever to reach the 300 plateau. Joined Seaver in the record books. Playing against his former team, the Minnesota Twins, Carew cracked career hit number 3,000, becoming only the 16th player to join that exclusive club. Phil Niekro's attempt at baseball immortality took as many strange twists and turns as the knuckleball from which he makes his living. Like Seaver, Niekro was attempting to win his 300th career game. He fell short against the Blue Jays in his first try. He then failed again in his second bid. And he was knocked out of the box in his third try. The best he could do in his fourth was a no decision. Finally, on the last day of the season, Niekro nailed down the elusive 300, giving baseball fans a last warm memory of the heroes of 1985. But during the heat of summer, a deep chill settled over the sport. There was a major drug scandal unfolding in Pittsburgh, and for the second time in 5 years, there was a players' strike. And once again, the ballparks were empty when the players and owners could not agree on the issue of salary arbitration. When the players walked, both sides acted quickly. A compromise was reached, and the strike was over within 24 hours.
Like everyone else, I'm pleased that this is over and we're back to playing baseball. I'm sorry that we couldn't get it done without a strike.
We have an agreement that we hope will work, that we're going to do our best to make work over the next 5 years.
But baseball was cast in an even darker shadow when player involvement in a Pittsburgh drug scandal began to unfold. Curtis Strom, a former clubhouse caterer from Philadelphia, was accused of selling drugs to major league players. A number of them testified under federal immunity. Each day meant shocking new headlines as more players, past and present, were implicated in the growing scandal.
Dave Park Parker of the Cincinnati Reds, J.R. Richard, once with the Houston Astros, Al Holland of the California Angels, and Jeff Leonard of the San Francisco Giants were implicated as having used cocaine.
Strong was found guilty by a federal grand jury on 11 charges of possession with intent to distribute cocaine in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Baseball attempted to put its troubles behind as the playoffs began. In the National League, the Cardinals and Dodgers squared off for the pennant. The Cardinals had lost the first 2 games, had come back to tie the series at 2 games apiece. Game 5 was 2-2 going into the bottom of the ninth, and up came Ozzie Smith. Here's the pitch, hit deep toward right field by Ozzie Smith. Away back, away back. Would you believe it? A home run by Ozzie Smith. He has done it. He has put the Cardinals ahead 3 games to 2. Game 6 and a new St. Louis hero, Jack Clark. He provided the long ball heroics. His 3-run blast gave St. Louis a 7-5 victory and propelled the Cardinals into the World Series. First time in history, the American League playoffs moved north of the border and into Canada. Toronto took a 3-1 series lead over Kansas City, but the Royals battled back, winning Game 5 2-0. Then in Game 6, light-hitting shortstop Buddy Biancalana became the hero by doubling into center field. He took third on an error, and that put the Royals on the road to a 5-3 victory, and it squared the series at 3 games apiece. In Game 7, Toronto manager Bobby Cox saw his Blue Jays lose the game and the pennant to Kansas City. The Royals became only the 5th team in history to overcome a 3-1 deficit and win a postseason series. The World Series stage was set. The Battle of the Show Me State, the I-70 series. The Cardinals won the first game 3-1 behind ace left-hander John Tudor. Game 2 featured more of that Cardinal magic. Terry Pendleton. He delivered a 2-out bases-loaded double in the top of the ninth. And that lifted the Cardinals to a 4-2 victory and put them up 2 games to 0.
2 was the killer. The toughest loss that was the toughest ball game I've ever lost in my life.
St. Louis opened a 3-1 series lead, but the Royals came back in a Game 6 at the bottom of the ninth. Jorge Orta was safe on a controversial call. Up came Dane Orr.
Base hit loaded, 1 out. Swing and a base hit into right. Kansas City win. Here's the throw home by Van Slyke, and the runner is safe, and Kansas City wins the game 2-1.
After we won that game in the fashion in which we did win it, coming back with 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning, the 7th game was ours, with Saberhagen pitching.
Saberhagen, who hours earlier had watched the birth of a son, pitched like a man with another mouth to feed, shutting out the Cardinals 11-0 in Game 7. Once again, the Royals had rebounded after trailing 3-1, and the reward this time, their first World Series title.
By far the greatest moment of my life, because we defied all the odds. We came back time and time again, showed a lot of courage, showed a lot of heart, showed a lot of pride, and then came back and win. By far the best.
In 1985, Iowa won its 8th straight NCAA wrestling championship. The football team at Glenville High School in Glenville, Minnesota didn't win at all. They've now lost 68 straight. And Sweet Home High School of Buffalo, New York rolled to a record 219th consecutive victory in women's volleyball. Coming up, the year in college football.
Soon these streets will be teeming with people, all going after the American dream of success, just like you. Perhaps you should subscribe to the Wall Street Journal before they get here.
Call 800-228-2210 for this new Journal offer. 13 weeks for just $28 with a money-back guarantee. 13 weeks, $28. Phone 800-228-2210 now for the Wall Street Journal.
I'm Dan Marino, and at Christmas time, I take care of the hands that take care of me. I pass isotoner gloves to the hands that catch my passes, and I hand off these custom-fit isotoners to the hands that carry the ball. And of course, I never forget to take care of my blockers, because how can I throw a pass when I'm laying on my back? This Christmas, give isotoner gloves by Aris, and take care of the hands that take care of you.
What a perfect day for the Pentax Sport 35 motor camera. A compact 35mm that's all automatic. From film loading and speed setting to autofocus, advance, and rewind. So you're always ready for the next shot. Enjoy the moment while you capture the memories with your Pentax Sport 35 motor camera. Part of the growing Pentax family. Pentax, the freedom to be your best.
Wednesday, will a friendly card game get Mary out of debt?
You want me to get into the game because you think I'm a rube and you'll clean me out?
Or will it put her in the poorhouse? Wednesday.
This year, college football players were wrapped in over 112,000 miles of tape. That's enough tape to bandage the planet Earth 4.5 times.